boost and start to power slide. We salute you with the big blocks 4 wide. Race fans, it's showtime.
Smithley, driver the number 0, JD Motorsports Chevrolet, and you're watching All Pro Broadcasting.
When you're ready,
ServPro, how can we help?
help gets there faster. The cleanup specialists at 1-800-ServPro and ServPro.com. Helping make fire and water damage like it never even happened.
Welcome, race fans, to the Domino's 2IJ Racing Dented Fender Truck Series. We are live here at Martinsville Speedway in Martinsville, Virginia for one of the short track favorites here with Domino's 2IJ Racing live on All Pro Broadcasting. This is going to be one thrill of a race. There's going to be a lot of beating, a lot of banging, a lot of dented fenders, I predict, Curtis, when this race is over. By the way, welcome in the booth is my good friend, Curtis Young. How you doing tonight, Curtis?
Pretty good, Robert. Getting down to the final races of the season here, second last round. Obviously, tonight starts the round of 16 drivers starts tonight, and we're going to narrow it down to 12 after these next 3 races.
Yes, sir, Curtis. This is a half a mile short track. It's got concrete in the corners, asphalt on the straights, the front and the back. It's a lot of people call it the paper clip, the cookie cutter track. It's basically the exact identical on all 4 corners, but the drivers will tell you there is a little bit of difference. And we're going to find out tonight, Curtis and fans, which one of these drivers has learned how to master this track going in to the end of our 2017 Domino's 2IJ Racing season. Curtis, I think you got some information for us as far as the chase bracket.
Yeah, so the 16 drivers to watch out for tonight, the drivers that still have their championship hopes alive. They are the 51 truck of James Ross, the number 3 of Mark Jackson, the number 6 of Gerald Campbell, the 17 of Gary Sexton, the number 4 of William Locklear, Shane Parrish in the 81, the 66 of Jack Watts, 33 of Vernon Margheim, the number 2 of Blake Griffith, the 72 of Ivan Garcia, Judd Danielson in the 85, the 07 of Tyler Chalk, 98 Andrew Kessler, Jeremy Crandall in the 73, Jeff T. Martin in the 15, and Chad Payne in the number 9 rounds out your field of 16 drivers. So any of those guys that I just said still has a chance to win the championship. Everybody's on a clean slate here, headed into Martinsville, and then after Martinsville we'll go to Texas and then the Auto Club Speedway and set it up for the round of 12 going into Homestead.
Thank you so much, Curtis. Yes, fans, we do add a few extra drivers. Unlike NASCAR, we want to have as many of these guys who are spending time away from their families to be involved in what we're doing here in the final races of our 2017 campaign. And we're going to have a chase like you have never seen before with all these fantastic, very talented drivers. Of course, Curtis, you'd be there yourself. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I like to say fortunately, you had so much success in 2016 in the Denton Fenders Truck Series that you've been gracious enough to help us out up here in the booth. Curtis, what's it going to take for these guys to get the win here at Martinsville? What are the secrets, the keys to finishing this race in the top 3 and transferring over?
Well, really, Martinsville can be kind of a wild card, really depending on how your race goes, but yeah, you just gotta try and keep it clean out there and give and take, and just try not to find yourself in a wreck. Really get in a rhythm and try not to make too many mistakes. You can have pressure from behind and easily overdrive the corner, and that just basically gives the spot up. I mean, the bottom lane is so important here. And yeah, I think like I said, track position is going to be pretty important as well. So look for, I wouldn't be surprised to see some guys stay out on older tires and actually hold these guys off. Martinsville's a place where
broadcast overlay / car design / all sorts of stuff. We're just basically an all-around media studio. Anything related to iRacing, and you can get in there and capture really cool shots and put together these videos. So if you go check out facebook.com/Dirty Air Studios, you can check out some of the videos we've been putting out lately.
Yes, sir. What are you looking for tonight in the track, and what do you think your chances are pulling off the win tonight?
Yeah, I'm starting a lot higher up than I thought I was going to be, especially with that qualifying time. That's actually about 2/10 slower than the pole and what I've run here. Track's going to be really slick tonight. it's hot, so look for guys sliding out through the corners, sliding off. You're going to want to protect the bottom really good. Is going to pay off, and I think track position as well. Look for some guys to stay out on tires, try to maintain that track position. But it's going to be a fun race. This is one of my favorite tracks, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. Curtis, if you'll start us out on the grid. Thank you so much. Gary, good luck.
Thank you.
All right, and starting on the pole tonight, familiar face, the 51 of James Ross. I believe he's got 11 wins this year now. Starting to lose count, but he's going to have Gerald Campbell in the number 6 starting to his outside. Gary Sexton in the Dirty Air Studios Toyota Tundra, we just talked to him. He'll be starting P number 3 tonight with Blake Griffith in the number 7 to his outside. Judd Danielson actually going to qualify inside the top 5 tonight, looking for a good run out of him in the 85 machine. He'll have Eric Stanford in the 24 to his outside. Jeff T. Martin rolls off P7 tonight with Tyler Chalk to his outside in 8th. William Locklear in the number 4 machine starts in 9th tonight with Wesley Whitfield in the number 71 rounding out your top 10. 81 car of Shane Parrish, he's going to start 11th here tonight. Sean Kalis in the 45, he'll start from position number 12. Vernon Margheim starting 13th here tonight in his number 33 machine. Ray Richer in the 44, he will start from the 14th position tonight. Andrew Kessler in the number 98, he will roll off P15 with my good buddy Gary Weston to his outside in the number 14 Budweiser machine. Chad Payne, last driver to take a qualifying time, he will start in 17th, and 3 drivers to tag on to the end of the field not taking a qualifying time. That'll be Jack Watts in the 66, Ivan Garcia in the 72, and Jeremy Crandall in the 73. James Ross getting ready to fire him off. He's on the loud pedal. Green flag is in the air for the Dirty Air Studios 200. James Ross looks like he got a good jump on the start there, was able to pull up to the wall before turn 1 and get up in front of Gerald Campbell, so the top 3 remain unchanged through that restart. And looking for side-by-side battles, the 4 of William Locklear and the 07 of Tyler Chalk. It's a battle for about 9th position, and that's the first battle side-by-side that I can see.
Yeah, it looks like the 07 and Tyler Chalk has already got moved up to the outside groove. He's looking for any kind of spot to duck down into that inside groove, because that is exactly where you want to be, Curtis, on this short half-mile oval.
I think that's the 98 of Andrew Kessler. I'm not sure what he's doing. He's already making a pit stop, or he's at least on pit road.
Yeah, he could have got a penalty there on the restart. You never know.
Yeah, maybe so, but still looking for side-by-side battles. Looks like Tyler Chalk fell back to the 11th position. I think Shane Parrish and Vernon Margheim both got by him. Everybody's mostly single file here. I can't find... Oh, looks like Gerald Campbell and Gary Sexton actually. No, it was Blake Griffith and Gary Sexton. They were side-by-side for just a second, but a lap car came into play.
It looks like the 98 of Andrew Kessler is back out on the track. We will try to reach out to him during the first caution when we get one and find out exactly why he had to make that early pit stop. It could have been an equipment failure, something they were able to fix real quick there, Curtis. So he's back on the track. Unfortunately, he's going to be 2 laps down, but he is the first car a lap down, truck, excuse me. So he will definitely get the lucky dog when it comes out and hopefully get back into the mix here and still be able to compete for the win.
James Ross is out front right now, leading Gerald Campbell by about a second, and Gary Sexton is 1.6 behind Gerald, so top 3 are starting to space themselves out a little bit. Blake Griffith is still hanging in there with Gary Sexton, and Judd is still hanging in there with Blake, so still a tight battle through the top 5, and behind them William Locklear, Shane Parrish, and Vernon Margheimer running in a train, so look for one of those guys to capitalize on any sort of mistake that one of them might make, and that's really what a lot of these guys will be waiting for here tonight, is people making mistakes. And Gary Weston and Jeremy Crandall, they're battling right now for the 13th and 14th position. It looks like Gary Weston was stuck on the outside. He pretty much let Jeremy buy into that corner so he could get down to the bottom in front of Jack Watts, and looks like he actually went high, and he's going to let Jack Watts go too. So
Yes, sir, Curtis.
Gary's actually still feeling a little bit of the effects from his foot injury that he had this summer, and I know these short tracks will be pretty tough for him on his foot, so he's probably just trying to get in a rhythm here. He doesn't want to be in anybody's way, especially just because he missed so much time that he's not involved in the chase.
Yeah, he's doing an excellent job of staying out of the way. And I did run a few laps here in Happy Hour, Curtis, and you run this track yourself many times. This is one of those crazy tracks, fans, where you get into the corner just a little bit too fast, and you're going to wash up into the outside groove. So this track, I think you'll agree with me, Curtis, takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of rhythm. It takes a lot of dedication to that rhythm to run the fast lap every time. We got a caution. We'll pull it up in just a minute. Looks like the go ahead.
Chad Payne got loose on the coming out of turn number 4, number 9 Office HQ Chevrolet of Chad Payne. Just I guess he had a little bit too much wheel into it coming out of turn 4, got a little bit loose, corrected it, didn't hit the wall or anything, but unfortunately stopped on the track. Out of the racing group, but that's going to bring the caution out here on lap 11.
Yes, Curtis. I'm seeing quite a few trucks already getting loose coming off the corners here. This is a very, very hot track here. We've got 103-degree track temperature on the surface right now, Curtis, and fans. So getting loose is definitely something that's going to happen to a lot of these drivers, and the best drivers will be able to hold on to it. I've already seen 2 or 3 guys, including Eric Stanford, save a truck getting loose. And we're going to see that all afternoon long, Curtis. And
interesting development, James Ross pitted and nobody else did. So James Ross going to the back on 11 to 12 lap. Newer tires than everybody else. And we'll see what he can do. Like I said, Martinsville is a place where track position is pretty important. His tires are going to wear to be about even with these other guys pretty quickly with only 12 laps on everybody else's tires. So long race here, so James has lots of time to get back up to the front, but that's something that I was, that can happen here at Martinsville. Is everybody pits, you don't, and you're screwed. You pit, everybody else doesn't, and you're screwed. So that's just what happened to James Ross. I think Ivan Garcia is bringing his truck down there for service right now, so he might be the only truck behind James.
Yeah, it looks like the 6 of Gerald Campbell is going to inherit the league, and these pace laps go by real quick. I do want to remind all you fans that are watching tonight, we are going to give away our free Domino's 3-topping large pizza. We always do. We'll give you details in just a minute. Just want to remind you, you are watching the Dirty Air 200 live on All Pro Broadcasting, fans. If you are watching this race, if you're a first timer or you've been doing this for weeks, we do appreciate you being here. Make sure you click the subscribe button so you get your name in the drawing for a $200, yes I did say, $200 winner drawing once All Pro Broadcasting gets to the 1,000 subscriber threshold, which will be any time here. So you want to make sure you click the subscribe button, get your name in the hat. You can be the free lucky winner of $200, Curtis. I'll let you take the restart.
That pace car is off. Gerald Campbell in control of the field this time with Gary Sexton to his outside. Gerald Campbell's off. Gary Sexton gets a pretty good restart on the outside. And Jeff T. Martin 3 wide to turn 1. Caution is out already, and it looks like the 71 of Wesley Whitfield. He just lost it coming out of turn 4 on the restart.
Yeah, this will happen sometimes on these short tracks. You can have one truck, two trucks, just spin it, getting started. That's exactly what happened to 71 truck, and this is definitely gonna kind of change up the strategy here. When you hit the gas, coming to the restart is very, very essential. It definitely looks like 71 of Wesley Whitfield just got it loose. So we're definitely going to have some issues here going forward, but I think these guys are going to get control of this on the replay. Like I said, the 71 of Wesley Whitfield, he's going to be starting back at the tail end now based on that.
And something I didn't get a chance to mention before we went back green flag there. A lot of trucks, about half the field, decided to come down pit road the second time around after James Ross had came down. So James Ross made it back up to 9th position on that, he was in 9th position on that restart. I believe that's where he'll stay. He'll stay in 9th position. But so I think Vernon Markheim, Shane Parrish, Eric Stanford, Jack Watts, Sean Kalis, and Jeremy Crandall, I think they all went down the second time around. I'm not too sure though. Working lap number 22 under caution here. Gerald Campbell is leading the race right now. Gary Sexton in second with Blake Griffith in third. Judd Danielson in fourth, and Jeff T. Martin currently rounds out your top 5. 200 laps here on tap from Martinsville. Race number 1 of round number 2 of the chase. And Robert, I have a feeling at least a couple drivers are going to have some hurt feelings after tonight. We've already had 2 cautions here. Both of them have been self-spins, mind you. Nobody's really hit each other yet. Not bad anyway, but I'm sure it'll happen before the night's over when things start to get a little bit more urgent in about 100 laps.
Yeah, Curtis, this is going to be a very interesting race. Typically what we see, fans, as you know, if you've been with us for a long time all season, we do have quite a few cautions early on in the race, and then typically things kind of pan out. We get some long green flag runs, and hopefully that's what we're going to have here at Martinsville.
Yeah, I mean, we've got 20 trucks out here in the field tonight, so there's no reason that we can't go green flag for a decent amount of time, and I'm sure, I don't know how many laps these guys can actually go on a tank of fuel. I'm assuming well over 120.
Yeah, these trucks are not going to be worried about fuel. They're going to be worried about track position, like you said, keeping the fenders on these trucks, and I'll let you take the restart.
And Gary Sexton actually got a really good restart on the outside line that time beside Gerald Campbell. He's still side by side with him down into turn number 3. Judd Danielson and Blake Griffith, they're still side by side behind them. And Gary Sexton looks like he kind of gave it up to Gerald Campbell there, so he didn't get stuck on the outside with Blake Griffith and Judd Danielson behind him. He didn't want to fall back any farther than where he was, but Judd Danielson and Blake Griffith, they're still battling it out. Jeff T. Martin's right behind them, just waiting for an opening, but Judd Danielson's holding on to that 3rd position strong right now.
Yeah, it's great to see Judd Danielson, that number 85. Looks like he's part of the CCR camp on his truck, unless I'm seeing something different. Curtis, you can correct me if I'm wrong. He's in that 3rd position, having a great run tonight.
Yeah, it looks like there's actually 3 CCR trucks in a row right now. I believe Blake Griffith is also part of them. Yeah, he is. So running 2nd, 3rd, and 4th right now. I'm sure they trade one of them being somewhere a bit farther back for somebody to be in the lead. But yeah, they're running three in a row right now. I'm sure those trucks still try and give each other quite a bit of room. But here comes James Ross. He's made his way. He's battling for the 7th position right now with, I believe that's William Locklear. He takes that over and he's setting his sights on Jeff T. Martin now. So Jeff T. Martin's got a mirror full of the pink James Ross Chef Annie's lobster roll machine, and James is on a tear right now, trying to make his way up inside the top 5. He's taking a high arc into the corners and just getting a really nice run off, and it's like his run's kind of stalled out a bit as Jeff T. Martin comes up on the back bumper of Blake Griffiths. He's going to have to try and find somewhere to go, or he's going to have James Ross inside of him, and James looks like he was actually maybe going to think about going below him that last corner there, and he almost gave the 15 the bumper into turn 1 there, just almost couldn't check up enough, and he's going to try the outside line. James Ross to the outside on Jeff T. Martin. Can't quite make it work that time, but and he's going to try it again. James Ross to the outside of Jeff T. Martin. Can James Ross make the outside line work here in Martinsville? Jeff T. Martin gets loose, and James Ross makes the outside line work to take over that 5th position. I wonder if James knows that Jeff got loose there, if he thinks that he really got that good of a run, if he's going to try and make that outside line work more and more this race. But here comes Blake Griffith to the outside of Judd Danielson. That allows James Ross to the inside of him, and here comes James Ross to the inside of Judd Danielson now from the 3rd position.
Yeah, I tell you what, the 51, beautiful. Say the Tata's truck is on a mission. He has definitely moved all the way up, looks like to the 4th position, 3rd now, as he gets around the 85 of Judd Danielson. But he is picking them off and putting them down outside lane, inside lane, wherever he finds them.
Yeah, and now is the 7 machine going to try and make his way on the outside back by Judd Danielson. It looked like that's what he was going to try and do last time. Like he almost had the run to try and make the inside lane work that time, couldn't quite make it work. Judd Danielson way high out of turn number 1, basically gives that position away to Blake Griffith, and and Judd Danielson into the back of the 7 machine. The 7 gets sideways, they all get checked up, and they're 3 wide on the front stretch, and that one. I don't even know what to say about that. They keep it straight somehow. Oh, and I jinxed it. The 4 goes sideways. The 81 hits him. The 24 is sideways. Everybody's just hitting everybody out here, but no caution comes out. And the 85 and the 33 get together. Judd Danielson and Vernon Markheim.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, there's about 6, 7, 8 different contacts. There's another one.
85.
All right, man, caution is out.
That'll bring the caution out.
Danielson finally bring the caution, and here comes Chad Payne. Oh no. Chad Payne piles in, and oh my God, Robert, I'm sorry, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't see that coming. That was developing for about 3 laps. Yeah, that was Jeremy Crandall and Judd Danielson that actually triggered the caution there. Judd Danielson must have got hit about 5 times there, and then he was just a little bit slow on the bottom. Jeremy Crandall wasn't sure if he was clear of the 24 and just got into the 85 machine a bit. They get spun around. They both try and get moving as fast as they can, and Chad Payne just plows into Judd Danielson.
Yeah, that was quite a few contacts there. Looks like the 73, what brought the caution out was the 73 and the 85 got together there. And on this note, we're going to take our first quick commercial break, fans. We're going to be right back. You're watching the Dirty Air Studios 200. We'll be back in a minute.
Hey, this is Garrett Smithley driving the number 0 JD Motorsport Chevrolet, and you're watching All Pro Broadcasting.
back here live from Martinsville. And look at Jeff T. Martin on the restart. He just sends into turn number 1, goes up and hits the wall. Gerald Campbell holds on to the lead for now, and he has Jeff caution is out again. Let's see what it is this time, and it looks like Gary Weston around in turn number 1. He had a little bit of help from the number 73 of Jeremy Crandall. Jeremy Crandall looks like he drove it. Jeremy Crandall looks like he drove it in a little bit deep into turn number 1 there, hit the 45, hit the 14, and that's what brought the caution out. So, I believe that was caution number 3 or 4. Anybody coming down pit lane this time? I don't believe. Sorry guys, I was just changing some volume levels here, but yeah, Gerald Campbell's still leading the race. James Ross didn't really get a chance to get a good run that last restart. Obviously the yellow flag came out, I think, before they even made it back around for 1 lap. And Jeff T. Martin, I'm not sure where he started on that restart, but the last 2 restarts he's went 3 wide around the 2 trucks in front of him, or tried to go around the 2 trucks in front of him. He's made it beside them, and both times caution has came out, so hasn't really been able to try much with it, but we'll see if he's able to do something drastic on the restart. He looks like, if anybody's going to do it, it looks like it's going to be him, so.
Yeah, thank you, Curtis. I was just reviewing that replay. Looked like there might have been a little bit of a glitch there, causing some internet connection non-issues. Actually, everything's, all the drivers, all the trucks are back, looking good.
Gerald Campbell in control of the field here again as we come to the restart. Looks like he's going to wait until they get around to the front stretch to get on the loud pedal, and James Ross dead even with him down into turn number 1. Can James Ross make the outside line work? I believe he's on a little bit fresher tires. Jeff T. Martin sends into turn 1 again and gets into the 17 and Gary Sexton. Caution is out. Caution will be out for the 17 of Gary Sexton, and I believe that was the 15 of Jeff T. Martin. Just driving it in a little bit too deep and got into the back of the 17, sent him around. Gary actually kept it off the wall entirely, and I don't believe he got hit by anybody else. I have to go back and look. That was the cause of the caution here on lap 49.
Yeah, it definitely looks like the 15 of Jeff T. Martin just barely touched the back of the 17 of Gary Sexton. And on these trucks with these tires, on this abrasive track, you absolutely are on the edge of control, and just the slightest bit of contact there, Curtis, will spin you around.
Yeah, so the 17 machine going to take the opportunity to come get 4 fresh ones, since he's going to the back anyway pretty much after that spin. But Gerald Campbell, James Ross coming down pit lane actually, and nobody really follows him. So Gary Sexton and James Ross, two of the fastest trucks here tonight. They're going to be at the back of the pack on fresh tires behind a lot of these guys with 30, 40 lap old tires.
Yes, sir, Curtis. This is going to be a tire strategy, not so much fuel, but definitely pit strategy, tire strategy race all night long. And fans, we do want to take a quick chance to let you know how you can win that free large 3-topping Domino's pizza. It's real simple. The first fan who can accurately predict the winner's race before lap 100, you can text 919-883-7497. Or if you're watching in the live chat, say, I picked this driver. Do not pick one driver now. Pick another driver lap 98. Pick one driver. Take your time. If you pick 2, 3, 4 drivers, we cannot honor all those picks. So take your time. The first fan who picks one driver before lap 100, you got 46 laps to go, will win the free large 3-topping Domino's pizza, carry out only from any Domino's store in the United States of America and Canada. We have quite a few followers in Canada and drivers from Canada. Curtis, this is a great giveaway. We love doing it. What's it look like as far as who's up front?
Still Gerald Campbell. Blake Griffith is riding in second, and Vernon Markheim actually sitting in third right now with Tyler Chalk in fourth, and Ray Richer has made his way up inside the top 5.
I tell you what, this is going to be a race of comers and goers. We got fast trucks up front, fast trucks in the middle, fast trucks in the back, and based on pit strategy, who's going to win this race and get the checkered flag? It'll be interesting. I'll let you take the restart here, Curtis.
Control truck is Gerald Campbell, and he's been waiting till he pretty much gets on the straightaway to go. That's exactly what he does this time. He gets a good jump on the number 7 of Blake Griffith, and the top 4 single file out down into turn number 1. First battle is Ray Richer and Jack Watts side by side for the 5th position. Jack Watts gets a good run on the outside, can't quite get clear of the 44 machine into turn number 3. Can he get the run off this time? And it looks like he can. Jack Watts makes the outside line work around the number 44 of Ray Richer and powers into the 5th position.
Yeah, that was a great move up front. Also up front, we've got the 7 of Blake Griffith. He is driving. Looks like he started in the 4th position. Looks like Blake Griffith is driving that beautiful Paradigm Technology Toyota Tundra. He is part of the CCR Racing team. Blake Griffin is having a great run so far tonight, up in the 2nd position.
And James Ross and Gary Sexton, they're both just whacking their way through the field, inside or outside. Here comes James Ross to the outside of the 44 of Ray Richer for the, I believe that's the 6th position. So they're just, they're both just whacking their way through there. Wow.
Yeah, both of these are really fast trucks, and we have a long race to go. Would not surprise me at all, Curtis, to see that 51. He's making passes on the outside, the inside, in the middle, but he's making passes. He's making his way up front. He's in 6th right now. Wouldn't shock me to see him leading this race by lap 100.
Yeah, the 17's basically just following his line. He's seems like he's having a little bit more trouble getting around the 44 than what the 51 did, but Kerry actually throws a little bit of a dive bomb in there in turn number 1. 44 sees it and gives him the line, but I think Ray knows he's a little bit faster anyway, but so he's just basically trying to give him the line right now and keep that number 4 of William Locklear behind him. But I was wrong. Ray gave him that line, but he throws the dive bomb back into turn number 1 this time. He said, "You're going to dive bomb me, I'll dive bomb you." So is he going to throw it in there in turn number 3? No, 1 for 1. So they're even. And that's what you'll see at a place like Martinsville. Sometimes, you just can't quite get to somebody's corner and make them have to stay on that outside. So you try and outbrake them, and that's how you get inside them. And some people don't like that, and some people think it's fine. So really depends who you are. But I think Ray Ray did that because he got that done to him, so just a little bit give it, you're gonna get it here at a short track.
Absolutely, and these guys are battling all over the track. I'm watching the number 81 Surf Pro truck of Shane Parrish. He is all over the back bumper of the 4 Monster Energy of William Locklear. Williams in 9th. Looks like Shane is in 10th. Shane was up front, or at least he had a really fast starting time. He was practicing in 2nd, qualified 11th. So I'm not sure what kind of tires they put on the truck or adjustments before qualifying, but Shane is uncharacteristically back here in 10th. I think he's got a long run truck, Curtis, and I'm not sure that's going to help him in this kind of a race.
Yeah, and the 51 and the 33 actually got together a little bit there out of turn number 4 last lap. I think the 33 just made a little bit of a bobble when the 51 was below him, just enough that it moved his truck, changed his line by about a foot or 2, and they just kind of banged fenders. No harm, no foul, but something to note. If you guys saw a little bit of dented fenders on their trucks and wondered what happened, that's could have been it. I don't think it might have not even damaged either truck. I haven't taken a close enough look yet. It was on the, James Ross, his right side looks perfectly fine, and that's where the contact was, so I don't think it was anything major at all. But James Ross is working on Blake Griffith right now for the 2nd position, and he's only 1.1 seconds behind Gerald Campbell right now, so Gerald Campbell's got to be looking in his mirror thinking, I really don't know what he'd be thinking actually, because James Ross has just been so dominant all year, and nobody's really been able to challenge him many times when he's been on a roll, and I think tonight it kind of looks like he's been on one of those rolls. So still early on here, not even halfway over through the nights. These guys got lots of time to find speed, but James Ross is really the fastest looking truck in traffic right now for sure.
Yeah, James and that number 51 saved the Tatas. Beautiful truck he's got. He's passing people on the outside, the inside. He's got everywhere he can go. He's getting around these guys. He's in that Power Tech Power Solutions Toyota Tundra. Right now he's looking on the outside of the 7 of Blake Griffith. He's been looking on the inside. Looks like Blake's going to let him have the run right now. So it's going to put the 51 of James Ross with his sights on the 6 of Gerald Campbell. And I do think the 6 Gerald Campbell has got older tires, so this should be a pretty quick and easy pass.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I know Blake just gave that up. I'm sure that's just because he wanted to try and stay on a even playing field with Gerald, and you know, he's hoping that Gerald puts up a little bit more of a fight than he did here, and that'll bring him right to the back bumper. But James actually gets into the back bumper of Gerald a little bit there, coming off turn number 2. He's got on the gas just a hair before the 6 machine did, and I believe he gave him a little bit of a nudge and shows him the nose there. Doesn't throw the dive in there, but just shows him that, you know, I feel like I can drive it in a lot deeper than what I... And caution is out. What was the cause that time? The 07 and the 85 and the 81.
Yes, fans, give us just a couple of seconds. We'll pull that replay up real quick and see exactly what happened. Definitely looks like the 07 of Tyler Chalk was on the inside of the 85 of the Jake Danielson truck. And I don't think Judd saw him. He just momentary 1 second lapse of vision, which happens to the best drivers in every league. And that looks like what just happened to the 85 of Judd Danielson.
Yeah, I mean, just had 3 trucks coming up on him, and I don't know, I guess he just Yeah, like you said, lapse concentration. Sometimes that happens. If you watch the replay, it really looks like he just Matt Kenseth, Joey Logano to, but it's really not the case. Judd's not like that, and honest mistake. But unfortunate for the 07 and the 81, bad deal for them.
Yes, sir. Of course, fans, we're on lap 69 coming to 70. Make sure you get your picks in for that free pizza. You can text 919-883-7497 or say, I choose this driver to win the race. The first fan who accurately predicts the winner of the race before halfway, you will win that free large 3-topping Domino's pizza, carry out only, anywhere in the United States of America and or Canada. Curtis, what do you see on pit road?
Oh, right now Jeremy Crandall's scored in the lead. I'm wondering if he just stayed out to lead a lap. And Gary Sexton has now actually scored in the lead. So I'm not sure if he stayed out. I have to go back and look here actually. I think
Yes,
Gary Sexton came in, he took 4 tires. He actually took 2 tires, so Gary Sexton took 2 tires.
Yeah, on this restart, what we're going to do, fans, is going to give you the crank it up version from in the cockpit. We're going to go all the way back to a truck that's going to give you a great view of what's happening up front. We're going to be in the cockpit of the 44 Freddie Richard for this restart. We'll give you like 4 laps. We'll be quiet here to enjoy this crank it up, all pro racing, all pro broadcasting style.
We done riding with Ray and Robert?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's happening up front there, Curtis?
James Ross has made his way back into the lead. Gary Sexton wasn't quite able to hold him off on the restart there. He got a little bit loose, and James Ross is able to drive around him on the outside. But right now, Gerald Campbell, Blake Griffith, and Vernon Markheim, they're battling hard for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th position right now.
Yes, sir. Curtis, these guys are diving it in as hard as they can, going into the corner to try to get the advantage. But then they'll lose that valuable roll through the center, which is what they need coming off the corner to maximize their speed going down these short straightaways. And the drivers who were able to do that so far tonight successfully or the 51 of James Ross. Matter of fact, why don't we take a quick through the field rundown? Looks like we've got James Ross in that number 51 PowerTech Power Solutions Toyota Tundra Save the Tatas up in front. He did pit early, got as far back as first. What would you say, 8th, 9th, 10th, 12th?
Yeah, I think he restarted 9th.
Yes, sir, that was back a couple of restarts ago, so he's leading the race. Back in second, we have Gary Sexton, that beautiful Dirty Air Studios Toyota Tundra. Third, we have Gerald Campbell in that Veterans of Foreign Wars Chevy Silverado number 6. He's having a great run. He led a whole lot of laps at the beginning of the race there, Curtis. Behind him, we have Blake Griffin in that Paradigm Technology number 7 Toyota Tundra. Back in 5th, we have the Young & Sons Toyota Tundra of Vernon Margam in the number 33 in 5th. 6th, we have the Southeast Motorsports of Jack Watts, number 66, looking great up here in 6th. 7th, we have Ray Richer in that Pro Auto Servants Chevy Silverado. And I was on what, 7th? 7th, we got Ray Richer. 8th, we have Shane Parrish in that beat up Serpro number 81 Toyota Tundra. A lot of these trucks, Curtis, as you're going to be able to tell, fans, you're going to be able to tell, they're going to have some serious damage. Shane is running 8th with some serious damage himself. Looks like back in 9th, we've got Andrew Kessler. He was a couple laps down. He took a very, very early pit stop, I think for some kind of mechanical issues, but he is back on the lead lap and running 9th in that Chef Andes number 98 Toyota Tundra. Beautiful truck. These positions are changing so fast. Jeff T. Martin in that Turner Lawn Care Chevy Silverado just got around Andrew Kessler, so he's actually in 9th. Back in 11th, we have Tyler Chalk in that 07 Southeast Motorsports Toyota Tundra. He's got damage on the right and the left front fenders. 12th, we have Eric Stanford in that Pepsi Toyota Tundra in 12th position, that number 24. 13th, we have Wesley Whitfield in that number 71 Gentry Trucking Chevrolet Silverado. 14th, we have Ivan Garcia. His truck looks actually pretty clean here, Curtis, in that Tide Ride Chevrolet Silverado number 72. He's running 14th. And those are the trucks on the lead lap.
Yeah, and James Ross is out to a 2.4 second lead over Gary Sexton. Gary's still holding on to second position on those 2 tires. He actually just got loose, I think, there, and Gerald Campbell's on his back bumper now.
Yeah, I've heard from some of these drivers, these truck tires are getting really, really worn out and really loose and slick coming off the corner, as documented by the 17 of Gary Sexton, that CCR. So these guys are driving with all hands and feet up on the steering wheel.
Yeah, Gerald Campbell to the inside of the 17 machine. Battle for the second position down the backstretch. Gerald Campbell trying to make the inside line work, and they touch the door. Gerald Campbell's left sides go down on the grass a little bit, up on the curbing. And Gary Sexton able to hold on to that position for now. Vernon Margheim almost gets into the back of the 6 a little bit there because they got checked up, and coming up on a lap truck, the 72 Ivan Garcia. Are they going to go higher? Are they going to go low? Doesn't look like they really know right now, but they're going high. Ivan Garcia is going to have to hold the bottom here and let these guys go. But yeah, Gary Sexton doing a pretty good job of holding off trucks that are just slightly faster than him right now, and just waiting for the tires to wear a little bit. As I say that, he gets a little bit high in turn number 2, and he's going to be stuck on the outside line now there unless he can get a good run off. Gerald Campbell and Gary Sexton, they're side by side again in turn number 3 and 4, and they touch doors again. Tight racing here at Martinsville. Gerald Campbell gets loose and hits the wall. Caution is out.
Yes, fans, give us just a second. We'll see exactly what happened on that caution. We got a pretty good idea. It was hard racing with old tires. Looks like the 6 veterans of foreign wars, no scars, no story. Number 6 of Gerald Campbell spun, got into the wall, got it going again, but unfortunately it did bring out the caution flag, which will be good news for some of these drivers to get brand new tires. On that note, we are halfway. The bidding is over for free pizza. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Fans, you're watching the Dirty Air Studios 200 live on All Pro Broadcasting. We'll be back in just a minute.
You're watching All Pro Broadcasting with Freedom Train.
Welcome back to the Dirty Air Studios 200 here, live on All Pro Broadcasting. Got James Ross leading the field right now, and Gary Sexton in second, Vernon Margheim in third, Tyler Chalk in fourth, and Blake Griffith rounding out your top 5 right now. Still got 15 trucks on the lead lap. And I believe only 2 trucks have actually retired from the event, so a lot of these guys will be back out here trying to make up some chase points, I do believe. Yeah, and the 72 of Ivan Garcia. Not sure what happened. Take a look and see what happened there. I think, oh, he was getting the wave around, and I guess he just wasn't expecting his tires to do that. A green flag in the air, so unfortunately Ivan Garcia doesn't get his wave around. But James Ross looks like he got a good start down to turn number 1 there. Everybody on even tires now, so that strategy worked out for Gary Sexton. He got spun out, had to go to the back, and I think he was in 5th or 6th. Got the lead and fell back to 2nd. Got his tires back, and I wouldn't say that move worked out for him, but he's still basically back to where he was, so I mean, he had to work for it though. And Jack Watts and Blake Griffith are side by side right now for the 3rd position. Blake Griffith looks like he gets the run on the outside, and here comes Ray Richer actually, and looking to make his way back inside the top 5. He's got Jeff T. Martin behind him, and Gerald Campbell in the 8th position right now. He's trying to make the outside line work around the 15 of Jeff T. Martin. Behind them, Judd Danielson actually back out on the track. Judd is 23 laps down. I had to repair a bunch of damage, and that truck is just not really the way it's supposed to be right now. So Judd just logging laps, trying to get every position he can in this heading into this round of 12.
Thank you, Curtis. Does look like the top fast drivers that might have a chance to win this race will be the James Ross machine in the 51, the 17 of Gary Sexton. Dirty Air is looking great. Not to mention the 33 Vernon Margam. Curtis Vernon is showing some maybe some short track speed we hadn't seen in a while.
Yeah, there seems to be some tracks where Vernon just shows up, and I guess maybe Martinsville is one of them because he's been up front pretty much all night and looking good in third right now, holding off Blake Griffith by about 0.7 of a second.
Yes, sir, Curtis. Of course, Blake Griffith might have something to say before this race is over. He's in that beautiful number 7. We already talked about him, that Paradigm Technologies Toyota Tundra. It is from the CCR camp, so they got the same information equipment. The 66 of Jack Watson, that Southeast Motorsports, he is definitely showing flashes of greatness here. He's running in 5th. We can never rule out the number 44 of Ray Richer. I tell you what, Ray Richer is one of those drivers. He's got a mirror full of Gerald Campbell trying to get around him right now. But Ray Richer, he's one of those drivers. He's going to show up. He's going to race. He's going to race the whole race. He's going to put everything he's got, everything his team has got, everything his equipment's got into that truck to get this race done. And that's exactly what the 44 is doing tonight.
James Ross continues to walk away by about a 10th or 2 per lap here. 1.6 seconds is the gap right now on Gary Sexton. Vernon Margheim is 1.2 back of Gary.
Alright, man, caution is out.
Yes, sir, Curtis.
Caution is out, and it looks like the 98 machine of Andrew Kessler. Problems in turn number 1 for the 98 machine.
Hey, give us a second or two. We'll pull that replay up real quick.
And I'm not sure exactly if the 98 had a problem, but or if the 73 just drove it in really deep, but something happened there between those two. They got together in turn number 1. Judd Danielson makes it around. 71 unfortunately gets involved, and the 81 just squeaks by as well with minimal damage.
Yes, sir, Curtis. It looks like
looks like these guys are all coming down pit lane for service. Actually, no, they're not. Actually, yeah, they did. They all just did come down pit lane. 51 of James Ross made it out first, and Gary Sexton still second, Vernon Margheim still third, Blake Griffith still 4th. Gerald Campbell actually looks like he's made his way back up to 5th, so he might have had a 2-tire call on that one.
yes, sir, Curtis. I was going to go back real quick before we go back and bring this up. And so fast with this short track. The 44 of Ray Richer. Going to do our first quick Domino's driver profile. Ray Richer drives that beautiful number 44. He is from Mohawk, New York. His race team is Richer Racing. His sponsors are Pro Auto Service, AMSOIL, Phantom Racing Chassis. He's been in sim racing 4 years. He's got a lot of years of real racing experience. 12. Real quick, try to get this in as soon as I can. He has won many heat races, only one feature. He's doing a lot of building and working on cars and a lot of spotting. Matter of fact, he has done a lot of spotting for the ARCA series at Pocono, Iowa, Daytona, Talladega, and Kentucky. So this guy knows how to get it done. He wants to give special thanks to Domino's 2LJ Racing, All-Pro Broadcasting, Mike Smith from Pro Auto Service, Marty and Lori Gilmore at Super Lube Central. So we're very thankful to have him here. I'll let you take the restart here, Curtis.
Jeff T. Martin actually stayed out on old tires. He's going to take the outside line on this restart. He's the control truck. So and James Ross looks like he might have started in the wrong gear or something there. That was a slow restart for the 51, but the outside line didn't look like they got going very well either, and looks like James Ross able to grab onto that second position, but Jeff T. Martin got out to a big lead that time, and going to take him a lap or two to catch back up. Side-by-side battle for the 5th position between Blake Griffith and Vernon Martinheim. Eric Stanford trying to make his way up inside the top 5. Haven't talked about him all night. James Ross quickly catching that number 15 of Jeff T. Martin. Is he going to try to make the inside line work, or is it going to be the outside? Can't quite get there yet, but the 15 of Jeff T. Martin actually doing a pretty good job right now. He actually created a little bit of a gap that last lap. Gary Sexton doing a good job holding on to the back bumper of the 51, and caution is out again. Looks like it's the 07 that goes around this time in turn number 4. Had a little bit of help from the number 98 machine of Andrew Kessler. And he gets hit by Judd Danielson. I believe that might have actually expired the motor on... That did actually expire the motor on the 85 machine. So tough night for the 85 of Judd Danielson.
Yes, sir, Curtis. I was just going to say, that's unfortunate. I got to take care of a couple things, Curtis, and you can cover the pit stops.
Yeah. I think the 51 of James Ross, he came down pit road. 17 of Gary Sexton, he stayed out. Blake Griffith stayed out. Gerald Campbell stayed out. Vernon Markheim went in. So Gary Sexton's going to be leading this race. 70 laps to go here. And I think he has, 4 trucks stayed out behind him. Maybe 5. So we're going to have 5 trucks on old tires at the front. Maybe 6 actually, Jeff T. Martin. And yeah, Jeff T. Martin and Eric Stanford as well. So 7 trucks on old tires, 8 trucks on old tires with Vernon Margheim, Jeremy Crandall, and James Ross going to start in 8th on new tires. Similar situation to what he was in before. See if he's able to make his way back up front. It took him, I'd say, 30 or 40 laps, so if things don't go perfectly for him, then this could be somebody else's race to win here.
Yes, Curtis, I think there was a little bit of damage perhaps on pit road there. We're going to see how this restart shakes out.
Yeah, let's see what 17 machine does on this restart. Last restart that he had control of, he left way before they got on the straightaway, and that seems to be, that can really mess up a lot of the other field. And I think he kind of just gave the 7 machine an idea of when he was going to go there, because they both got a really good restart. 7 machine actually a little bit of a bobble into turn 1 there, and gets the bumper from the number 6 of Gerald Campbell. They're side by side for the second position, and they're 2 by 2 by 2 for about 2nd through 8th. They all single file it out. Ray Richard and Vernon Margheim still side by side, and the 7 and the 6 get together. And I don't know how.
All right, man,
Caution is finally out. And it looks like the 6 just turned the 7 machine there. He slammed on the brakes instantly. 24 gets into the back of him, 33 gets into the back of him. Nobody really has anywhere to go, and for some reason the caution wasn't triggered for about half a lap there.
Yes, fans, we're going to take a second to review this replay. We'll be back in just a minute.
Looks like the 51 of James Ross actually retires after that. He took a pretty hard hit in the front end, pulled it down to pit lane, and exited the Speedway venue. So not going to be win number 12 for James Ross here tonight, unfortunately. Had a really good run going, pitted from the lead, and have that happen.
Sir Curtis, if you give us updates on the replay there as far as the pit stops go.
Yeah, I believe everybody will stay out for now. And that really changes a lot here. James Ross is gone, and I kind of thought he was going to win, so, I mean, this really gives a lot of these other guys an opportunity. I'm sure James wanted to come in here and lock himself in to the next round and not have to worry about it, but now he's going to finish 65 laps down tonight, and not really I'm not even sure if he'll be in position to move on in the next round after this race, so I'm sure he's got a good shot at winning one of the next 2 races, but I mean, this really just opens the door for somebody else to lock their way into Homestead here tonight, not have to worry about these next 2 races.
Absolutely, Curtis. Thank you for taking that. And I'll let you do the restart here as we get these guys lined up, the pace cars in.
Gary Sexton in control of the field here. He's been starting about mid-corner. He does so again. He's on the loud pedal with Jeff T. Martin on the outside. Doesn't get the greatest restart. Jack Watts at caution is out again. I'm not sure what happened there.
Yes, give us a second there, fans. Pull up the replay.
I think it had something to do with the 7 of Blake Griffith. I think Blake Griffith might have came to a stop on the track. Right as I think the pace car pulled in, and yeah, Blake Griffith came to a stop on the track as he was waiting for the field. That's what caused the caution. So yeah, as the field was restarting, Blake Griffith was stopped out of turn number 4, and that, yeah, unfortunately, iRacing doesn't want these guys driving if there's a vehicle stopped on the track. So that was a little bit of a mishap. No contact there from anybody, just Blake Griffith not being in the right spot.
Yes, sir, Curtis. I'm going to review this real quick and figure out what's going on.
So, lots of cautions here at Martinsville tonight. 62 laps to go. Or, sorry, I'm looking at somebody that's laps down. Looks like we got 56 to go, 57 to go. Gary Sexton, he qualified 3rd here tonight. He's leading the race right now. He's got Jeff T. Martin behind him, and Jack Watson 3rd right now. Ray Richer in 4th. Vernon Markheim rounding out your top 5. And Sean Kalis, he's sitting at 6th right now. So great run for that 45 machine. He's don't usually see him inside the top 5 or 10 too often, so it's nice to see that.
Thank you, Curtis. Keep going. I got a couple more things to deal with real quick.
And looks like a couple of these guys might have got some sort of penalty for the 7 being stopped on the track, passing under yellow. Trying to get all that sorted out. Looks like the lights are off the top of the Mustang pace car, so it'll be green flag this next time by. Everybody's getting racked up 2 by 2. See what Gary Sexton does on the restart. Jeff T. Martin looks like he was a little bit of a ways back, but Gary Sexton, he times the restart perfectly, gets a good jump. Jeff T. Martin on the outside line gets a decent little jump into 2nd position, and Jack Watson moves into the 3rd position with Ray Richer behind him. And the 73 goes sideways a little bit. He saves it right below the 6th machine of Gerald Campbell. I think Gerald saw that and went way high in turn 3 and 4. Good job saving that one to the 73 of Jeremy Crandall. And Tyler Chalk and Eric Stanford are side by side right now. Stanford making the pass on the bottom. Tyler Chalk going to try and fight back. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to. Yes, Sean Kalis behind him. Sean currently running in the 10th position. And Andrew Kessler, he looks like he's got a little bit of damage on his truck. He's running in 12th behind them. Shane Parrish, a little bit of a rough night for him. He's running in the end. Shane actually gets loose coming off of turn number 4 there. Locks up the brakes and saves it. 45 of Sean Kalis. Looks like he got high coming out of turn number 2 there. Here comes Shane Parrish below the 45 of Sean Kalis. That'll be for the 10th position.
Thank you, Curtis. It has been a handful tonight in the admin room. These guys are battling it out. We've had the leaders, the fast trucks have issues, go to the back, have to park the truck. We've had trucks not necessarily being leaders, having great runs, so it's going to be awesome to see what happens here at the end of the race.
Yeah, battle for the lead is heating up. It looks like Jeff T. Martin's actually only about a half a truck length off of the 17 of Gary Sexton. And Jack Watts is only a couple tenths behind them too, so really anybody's race right now out of those top three, and Ray Richards not too far back either, only 1.7 seconds back. We have another caution here. Looks like it's the 07 of Tyler Chalk, and the 45 of Sean Kalis goes up and over on the front stretch.
Yes, fans, it definitely looks like the 07 Tyler Chalk got into the 45 of Sean Kalis. On this note, we're going to take our final commercial break. You're watching the Dirty Air Studios 200 live on All Pro Broadcasting. Make sure you click that subscribe button. We'll be back in just a minute, bring you all the action to the end of this race, and let you know who wins that free pizza.
Gentlemen, before they go fast and start to power slide, we salute you with the big blocks 4 wide. Race fans, it's showtime.
Smithley, driver the number 0, JD Motorsports Chevrolet, and you're watching All Pro Broadcasting.
Welcome back, race fans, to Domino's 200 Racing Dirty Air Studios 200. Curtis, what do you see on the restart?
Well, Gary Sexton controlled the restart like he has pretty much all the rest of the night, other than when James Ross, Gerald Campbell has been leading. But yeah, he started about mid-corner and just gets a good jump on everybody else. But he's got Gerald Campbell right on his back bumper right now. And one thing is, he didn't get a chance, he elected not to pit that last time. Everybody else behind him pitted, I believe, except for Gerald Campbell, Eric Stanford, and Jack Watts. I think they all stayed out. on the same tires as he did, and Gerald Campbell gets loose. He smacks the wall, and he has a bunch of trucks going by him, and they're wrecking.
Yes, fans, give us a second to pull up the replay. We'll let you know exactly what just happened.
44, the 81, the 73, and the 33, they all got together, no caution. And I'm not sure how there was no caution on that one, but yeah, I guess they ran out of yellow flags here at the Speedway. But no, that was a pretty bad wreck in turn number 1 for there to be no caution, and it's going to space things out a little bit here for a lot of these drivers. Unfortunately, the 81 of Shane Parrish, it looks like he has got an expiring motor. He's brought it to pit lane, and I don't think he will be back out on the track tonight. Although I have seen expiring engines, if you get it in there quick enough, you can just have a minute or two worth of damage and sometimes make it back out there. I'm not sure if the truck would make it to the end of the race if that's what the case was, but nonetheless, maybe gain him a few positions if there's another wreck.
Yes, sir, Curtis, that was mayhem in turn 2 or 4?
Yeah, that was turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, unfortunately, caution did not come out, so a lot of trucks damaged. This is why everybody loves and or hates short track racing, and fans, we are bringing it to you tonight.
Yeah, and it's going to allow Jack Watts into the second position. He's 1.3 seconds back of Gary Sexton, so we'll see if he can chip away at that lead a little bit. Jeff T. Martin sitting in third, 2.2 seconds back, and Gerald Campbell, after that little bobble and getting involved in that wreck a little bit, he's 2.5. He actually hacked down the gap by 1/10 of a second that last time by, so see if he's able to continue that and make his way back up here. But looks like Jack Watts is actually making the gap shrink a little bit on the 17 of Gary Sexton as well. 1.1 seconds now the gap.
Yes, Curtis. Right now, with looks like about 31 laps to go, this is the 17 Gary Sexton 3TR truck to win the race, but anything can happen here at Martinsville, the short track. We've already seen it.
And he's losing quite a bit of time, almost. He actually was losing 1/10 a lap there for about 4 laps in a row, and he just grew the gap by about 1/10 that last time, so I'm not sure what he's doing, but caution is out. It's the 72 of Ivan Garcia gets loose out of turn number 4 and hits the wall.
Yes, fans, give us just a second to figure this out.
Yeah, it looks like he just a little bit too much wheel into it, got loose. And he is still sitting there slow on the track. He's trying to wait and let everybody go and just couldn't find a gap. That's going to cost him another lap there, but taking a look at pit lane, Is the 17 out on pit lane? No, he's not. Jack Watts stayed out. Gerald Campbell stayed out. So your top 3 stayed out. Blake Griffiths. No, he's not on the lead lap. So Sean Kalis and Jeremy Crandall, they're coming down pit lane right now for service from the 5th and 6th position. Jeff T. Martin, he's doing the same. Looks like he's already came down pit lane actually. Along with the 24 machine of Eric Stanford and the 07 of Tyler Chalk. Ray Richer might actually, this is going to help him because he was involved in that wreck and he had to check up quite a bit, so gets him caught back up with the field. 25 laps to go here from Martinsville.
Yes, sir, Curtis. This is going to set up a great short restart here with just about, these guys are going to have like 22, 23, 21 laps to go on this short track at Martinsville. It's going to be exciting to see who wins the race. Also, it's going to be exciting to see who wins the free pizza.
Yeah, and yeah, I don't know, it could be any one of those top 5 right now. They've been running well tonight. Without James Ross here, it's really going to be interesting. Even Eric Stanford there sitting just outside the top 5. Any one of those guys I think has a real good shot as of right now. Anybody actually on the lead lap does, because anything can happen here at Martinsville. But pace car pulls off. Gary Sexton in control of the field with Jack Watts, who is outside. He gets on the loud pedal, and Jack Watts doesn't really get the restart he wants. Gerald Campbell's able to get to his inside. See how long that battle bursts forward. It looks like Jack Watts stuck on the outside. Vernon Margheim to his inside. He's going to be able to hold him off, and Vernon Margheim gives him the bumper into turn number 3. Jeff T. Martin goes to the outside after that little checkup, and Vernon Margheim actually gets back up there, and he's got the 24 of Eric Stanford behind him. They're side by side, 15 and Jeff T. Martin. So the 24 and the 15, they're side by side right now, but that's for the 5th position, I do believe.
Yes, sir, and the 15 is pulling him down the straight, but the 24 has that preferred low line there, Curtis. And so the 24 of Eric Stanford and that Pepsi is making it work. But again, pulling down the stretch, the 15 has a great run, but in the corner just cannot get clear. Looks like the 24 will clear the 15 on this lap.
Eric Stanford gets clear for the 5th position. He's going to set his sights on Vernon Margheim.
Yep, looks like we got single file racing here all the way back to the top 10, 12. These guys are just trying to get their finishing position in this race as best they can. Although I can imagine, Curtis, that it's going to heat up with a few laps to go. And we're about 20 laps from that point.
And Gerald Campbell starting to put some pressure on the 17 of Gary Sexton. 18 laps to go here. The time is now pretty much for a lot of these guys. Jack Watts is just lurking behind them by a couple tenths of a second. He's just waiting for those guys to get side by side so he can get right to their back bumpers and make something of it.
Yes, Curtis, the 24 Pepsi machine of Eric Stanford has got the move on the inside of the 33. 33 Vernon Margheim lets him go. That's going to open or close the door for 15 of Jeff T. Martin. And up front looks like the 6 veterans of foreign wars, no scars, no story, of Gerald Campbell is heating up the rear bumper of the 17 CCR of Gerald Campbell, of Gary Sexton. This is going to be a shootout for the next 14 laps.
Yeah, and will we see a bump and run? This is for a guaranteed spot at Homestead. So, I mean, both of these drivers want to win this race. Gerald Campbell trying to make the outside line work right now. Not quite able to make it stick. This is bringing Jack Watson into the picture a little bit more.
Yes, sir. The 6 of Gerald Campbell is trying every way he can to get around the 17. Beautiful, dirtier studios of Gary Sexton. It's going to look again on the outside. If he can get a little bit of traction, he might be able to make it work, but not this time.
Yeah, if he can keep Gary Sexton down into that bottom lane, he can't quite stay on his outside coming out of the corner, and it looks like he might be able to do it this time, actually. So here comes Gerald Campbell to the outside, trying to make a pass for the lead. Under 15 laps to go here. Side by side battle for the lead down the backstretch. Gerald Campbell gets clear for the lead. Move the number 6 machine into the lead. Will Gary Sexton be able to fight back at all? Here comes Jack Watts and Eric Stanford behind them.
Yes, Gary is giving it all he can. He dove it in there. He just barely touched the 6, got him loose. That's going to bring the 66 of Jack Watts right into him.
All right, man.
Yeah, caution is out. Number 9 of Chad Payne goes right hard into the wall.
Yes, fans, give us just a second to catch that replay. Looks like the 9 Office HQ of Chad Payne all alone in the center of the corner. Just gets on the gas a little too early, spins it out. Unfortunate for him.
Doesn't look like there's any takers for pit road this time, except for maybe somebody near the back. They got nothing to lose. The 07 of Tyler Chalk and Sean Kalis, they're coming down pit road. Tyler Chalk, he was in 8th, and Sean Kalis in 11th, so not much for those guys to lose. They're gonna get some fresh ones and see what they can do.
Yes, sir, Curtis, this is going to be a great restart.
Yeah, probably the final restart on the night. By the time we get back green, it'll be lap 193, 194-ish. So unless there's a caution almost instantaneously after we go back green, then we won't get another one. But
yes, Curtis, hopefully these guys can race this out. This is going to be a great battle. Of course, with this few laps left, fans, we're definitely not going to see any of these leaders on pit road. So it's going to be between the 6, 17, 66, Irish man Gerald Campbell, and the 6, Gary Sexton, the 17, Jack Watts, and the number 66 Southeast Motorsports. We've also got Eric Stanford in that beautiful Pepsi machine. Also got Vernon Margam in 5th in the 33. Jeff T. Martin having a great run in 6th in that number 15. We got Andrew Kessler in the number 98, running in 7th. 8th, Jeremy Crandall has bounced back from a couple incidents. I'll let you take the restart here in a minute. Ray Richer is in 9th. Sean Kalis in 10th.
yeah, and I believe the lights will be off on the iRacing.com Mustang pace car this time by. When we get the restart, it will be 5 laps to go at the restart. Actually 6 laps to go, I do believe.
Yes, sir.
6 laps to go at the restart, and Gerald Campbell going to be in control of the field this time with Gary Sexton to his outside, Jack Watts behind them with Eric Stanford to his outside. Vernon Margheim rounds out your top 5. Jeff T. Martin inside the top 3 rows as well. Waiting on Gerald Campbell to fire off. Here he goes for the final time tonight. Green flag in the air for the Dirty Air Studios 200. Gary Sexton gets a good jump down into turn number 1. Gives the number 6 a little bit of a bump coming out of turn number 2. And it looks like the 33 gets sideways, the 66 is sideways, and their caution is out. And looks like the 33 just got a little bit of a nudge from the 24. Got wiggly, and he just... Actually, looks like the 24 got into the 66, and 33 was going to be too fast in there anyway, but I think that one might end it. I'm not too sure.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's hard racing there in the race. Looks like we're going to have just a few guys up front.
I believe the lights have to go off on the pace car. Not this time, but next time for us to have a restart here.
Yeah, it looks like that could be the end of the race. What do you think there, Curtis?
Yeah, if the lights don't go off on the pace car this time, then that is going to be the race. Might get a one-lap shootout here if the lights do go off. I don't think they're going to though here, Robert, but we will see. Yeah, lights are still on, so this race will be over.
Yes.
Gerald Campbell's going to win this one.
Yes, sir. There's some hard racing tonight, Curtis. We're going to take our final commercial break as these guys wind down the final lap. We'll be right back in a minute, fans, with the finishing order and interviews. For the top three finishers, fans, you're watching the Dirty Earth Studios 200 on All Pro Broadcasting. We'll be right back.
You're watching All Pro Broadcasting with Freedom Train.
Hey, this is Garrett Smithley, driver the number 0 JD Motorsports Chevrolet, and you're watching All Pro Broadcasting.
Welcome back, race fans, to the conclusion of the Domino's 2IJ Racing Dented Fenders Dirty Earth Studios 200. Curtis, if you'll go down the complete lineup, I'll get all these guys ready for quick interviews.
And your winner here tonight, burning it down on the, actually in turn number 1 there. Number 6 of Gerald Campbell, he's going to win it here tonight. Gary Sexton finishes in 2nd. And 98 machine of Andrew Kessler, he finishes 3rd here tonight. Jeremy Crandall in 4th. Ray Richer finishes 5th here tonight. Sean Kalis finishes 6th. Vernon Margheim in the 33, he finishes 7th here tonight. Jack Watts 8th. Tyler Chalk finishes 9th here tonight. Jeff T. Martin rounds out your top 10. Blake Griffith finishes 11th here tonight. Wesley Whitfield 12th. Eric Stanford 13th. Ivan Garcia 14th. Shane Parrish in the 81 machine, he finishes 15th here tonight. Judd Danielson finishes 16th. James Ross 17th. Chad Payne finishes 18th here tonight. Gary West in 19th, and William Lockley rounds out your field in 20th.
Yes, sir, Curtis. It looks like we've got our third place finisher. We've got the third place finisher. Great rebound here. Andrew Kessler. At one time, he came down pit road early in the race, was 2 laps down. Andy, if you don't mind, give us 2 answers. Why'd you pit so early, and how in the world did you come back from 2 laps down to get a top 3 finish? Congratulations, great run.
Well, honestly, it's all about survival, really, with these types of races. It can get frustrating for drivers at times. It feels, at least in the seat, I guess, sometimes that there's a lot of take but no give. So it makes it real frustrating, especially a long race. But, basically pitted early trying to get away from this stuff and kind of got caught a couple laps down. But, you stick with it. Plenty of cautions, obviously. You end up getting your laps back. And, it's one of those tracks you can actually stay out on older tires and still maintain a decent position. So it worked out for me in the long run. And, a little bit of luck doesn't hurt either.
Yes, Andy, every time we race at short tracks, really any kind of race, you got to have a lot of luck. Some tracks more luck than other tracks, but definitely here at Martinsville, congratulations, Andy, on that great finish. Very, very impressive to come from 2 laps down. Who would you like to give thanks out to?
Oh, obviously all the teammates over there at Aegis with James Ross, obviously having his problems and issues tonight. Not the finish he wanted, but all those guys, and Eric Stanford and Shane Parrish, of course Dave, who mentors all of us over there as well too. So just a big thanks to all those guys. Julio Tizzato puts this all together, and we'll go get them next week.
Yes, sir. I think with the speed you're showing in the trucks, Andy, you got a great chance at least 1, 2 more wins, and you got a good chance at the championship here. I definitely do not rule you out when we go to Homestead. Anything can happen with the way we have the format set up. Congratulations, and I will be pulling for you because I love pulling for somebody who might not be the 100% favorite or the top dog with the most wins, and you're in that category, and I'd love to see you win the championship. Thanks again, Andy.
I appreciate it. Everybody loves a good underdog.
Yes, sir. Take care. Now it looks like Curtis is caught up with our second place finisher. He might be a little disappointed. Take it away, Curtis. You've got Gary Sexton who finished second.
Well, Gary, it looks like you had a pretty good run tonight. You qualified third. You led quite a few laps. Probably felt like you were in control of that one for a bit there near the end, and then Gerald Campbell just came on strong and made it by you, and you didn't really have a chance to show your cards there on the final restart. I was second place here for you tonight.
Man, Curtis, it's not that good. I threw another one away. I probably should have pitted with like 50 to go on that one restart, or on that one caution came out. I had, I didn't pit, but I got fortunate to pull a gap there until that last caution with like 15 to go, the one where we got Gerald back to my back bumper, and I knew I had like 30 lap older tires than those guys, and I should have learned my lesson. The same thing I did here in the spring race. I ran up front and stayed out and had the track position, and then I just elected not to pit on one of those stops, and this is why I need a crew chief. So anybody out there wants to crew chief for me the rest of the season, I could really use the help making those decisions, because I just, I didn't want to race Gerald too hard there with like 15 to go. I knew I could stay with him and hopefully give him the bumper. I got to him a little bit on that last restart. I was able to get him loose coming off the corner. Obviously, I don't want to wreck anybody, but it's tough when you get down to it to make a pass on the bottom. You got to kind of move guys out of the way, and I was hoping we could run that out to the end, because I felt like he was beating me on entry, but I had him off, so I felt like if I could get him out of 2 and just get to his bumper and get him loose off of 2, I could get under him into 3, and then it would just have been a pretty exciting drag race from there. But unfortunately, these short track races, we don't race on them enough throughout the season for these guys to get enough practice. So it gets really hard. When we get in these 200 lap races here, it's so. Everybody kind of drives a little over their heads, but I feel like if we have more of these on the schedule, it wouldn't be like this. But I love them. It was overall it's a good race. So.
All right. Well, not a guaranteed ticket to Homestead in a couple weeks here, but a good start to the round anyway. And who would you like to thank?
Yeah, I'll start off thanking my team. CCR, special thanks to Tim for coming out tonight. He elected, he's not in the chase. He elected to just park it tonight and help us out, let us know what's going on around the track. It really helped quite a bit, especially when I was out there in the lead with old tires, just knowing where everybody was, how hard I had to run my car. So big thanks to CCR and all those guys, Blake and Judd and Will Davis, and pretty excited for what's to come for this team and the future of pretty much everything, and thank my family and everybody that watches, and special thanks to Robert for putting on this league, man. He's done one hell of a job putting together something awesome, and for allowing me to race here from where I've come from the beginning of this season to now is absolutely incredible. And I owe it to initially to Robert for allowing me to race with everybody here. And yeah, that's about it.
All right, Gary. Well, congratulations on second place here tonight. We'll see you tomorrow for the Xfinity race, and I think Robert has caught up with our winner in victory lane here, Gerald Campbell.
Yes, I have made my way all the way down to Victory Circle. We have an unbelievably ecstatic, happy, soon-to-be wed Gerald Campbell with a victory in his back pocket. Gerald, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing a lot better now that I got that security of getting that win. I feel like a relief has come over me.
Yes, sir. When you heard we're going to be racing at Martinsville tonight, were you excited about that change in the schedule, or were you dreading it?
Oh, man. Do you see where I'm sitting? I'm ecstatic, man. I'm in victory lane. Now, if I was someone else, that would be a different story. I'd be so mad at you at that. But no, just real quick, I wanted to apologize to Blake. I got into him. I feel like it was a little bit of netcode, but, it stinks because everyone out here is trying to race really hard to get into this final race at Homestead. And there's a lot of good drivers in this series, and it's difficult. But I truly believe Blake we'll get back in there, man. And he's with that cross-continent racing team, so that's a good team with Gary Sexton over there. So just fun battling with those guys coming to the end. I knew Gary wasn't going to get me the bottom. He made that pretty evident whenever we were going down the straightaways, and he was racing the whole group down below. So he gave me a lane. I just had to make it work, and luckily enough, I was able to.
Yes, sir. Curtis and I'm sure all the fans were on the edge of their seats. I was thinking, can Gerald make this pass on the outside? I saw you looking one lap. I saw you looking again the next lap, and you absolutely made it work. So great driving there. I know it takes a lot of skill to get that kind of a pass done here at Martinsville. Who else would you like to thank for this win?
I like to thank my fiance. I mean, we're going to be getting married here soon. I'm going to have to stop saying fiance, so I'm looking forward to that, actually. I had to get this win so I could be able to make it into the chase. It just came down to that. Yeah, I raced a little bit aggressive today just for the mere fact that I knew I had that in the back of my mind, that either I had to make it happen here or I had to make it happen at the next race, which I believe is Texas, which will also be a pretty exciting race. I'm looking forward to that one as well. I like to thank my parents for allowing me to come over always. I like to thank the vets. Obviously, always thank the vets. Most people don't have that mindset to do that on a constant basis. They do that whenever they're reminded. I just hope everyone leaves here tonight and thanks a vet whenever they see one, what day it is. It doesn't matter. They served for you. All you can do is just reward them with a little bit of gratitude. So thank you, Robert. Thank you, Curtis. Always, you guys are fun to listen to. You guys do an amazing job. It's going to be real sad when ESPN goes and takes you guys from us. just like to thank everyone that watched and is watching this interview. If you stuck it all the way out to the interview part, so again, just like to thank everyone, thank this series, thank everyone that was on this track for Martinsville. It may look like a wreck fest, but for the mere fact that it is Martinsville, there's a lot of really good green flag racing.
Yes, sir, Gerald. We all noticed that. The fans noticed it. Thank you for all you do, and absolutely, we do thank every single vet out there. Every single day, make a habit. If you see a man in uniform, a woman in uniform in your local town, whether it's at lunch, they might be with the reserves, they could be active duty, spending time at home for a couple of days. You see somebody in uniform, make sure you thank them. I do that. If you know somebody and you see them and they're not in uniform, make sure you thank them. Thank you so much there, Gerald. We do have a free pizza winner giveaway. Dwayne Timms from Charlotte, North Carolina will be winning that free large 3-topping Domino's pizza.
Thank Dwayne. Thank you for voting for me. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's not my fiance every so often.
Yes, sir. Awesome, Gerald. You have a great wedding and a great weekend. Curtis, what are your last thoughts on the race tonight?
Just pretty typical Martinsville race. Lots of cautions, lots of tempers flaring, and yeah, decent race overall. A little bit more cautions than what we would have liked to see, but we got our winner, our driver that's punched his ticket to Homestead. That's going to be Gerald Campbell, obviously, so congratulations to him, and yeah, that's about it, I guess.
Yes, sir, Curtis. Thank you so much for being here. It was an awesome race. Every time we come to a short track, there's a lot of fun, a lot of disappointment, but you got to take it in stride. So for Curtis Young, Michael DeBinko with All Pro Broadcasting, make sure, fans, you click the subscribe button for that $200 giveaway. Get your name thrown in the hat. This is Robert McFarland for Domino's TYJ Dented Fender Truck Racing. We'll see you next week. But if you want some more exciting racing, tune in tomorrow night, Thursday, same time, same channel, 8:50 p.m. Eastern. We have our premier Xfinity cars at Chicagoland. And yes, that is the next race in the NASCAR Monster Energy playoff after Martinsville, if I'm not corrected, which I could be. But we'll see you then. Everybody have a good night.
In the open road, life and death in my own hands. I am my own justice.